the test prep card that we are into online coaching program for SAT 1, JEE, NEET, etc. And first of all, we are very thankful to the principal of the school as well as counselor who have arranged this wonderful session. Right, we are keeping the batch size small so that the parents, 10 parents in a batch, so that we all can have good time just to ask question. Because what happened that a day before yesterday there were more than 70 parents and we were not able to handle them simply because of the reason that we were not able to handle the questions and everything, right? So this is it. Now let me tell you that SAT stands for Scholastic Aptitude Test, right? So SAT basically is divided into two parts. Okay, first is known as SAT 1 or SAT General. Second part is known as SAT Subject Test or SAT. So SAT 1 basically is SAT General Test, which is a test of math and English. And SAT 2 basically is a SAT Subject Test, which is a test of 16 subjects, depending upon a choice to be chosen from. So here in this 16 subjects, we have physics, chemistry, math. I mean to say math level 1, math level 2. Of course, math level 2 is tough. We have got biology, we have got all sort of languages like Chinese, Spanish, Italian, American history is there, American English is there. So this is it. So depending upon your choice, you can choose any of the subjects of SAT 2 and you can appear. But today, whatever we are going to talk about, it is completely based on SAT 1. Okay? Because for you people who are expatriates living in Oman, for you the relevancy of SAT 2 has gone now, right? Until unless you try to send your child to US, okay, for engineering. For example, if you want to send your child for engineering program in US or in Singapore, okay, then you need to write SAT 1 and SAT 2 both. SAT 1 for a aptitude and SAT 2 in order to prove your proficiency in subject matter, right? That is it. So here we are going to talk about SAT 1. SAT 1 or SAT General stands for Scholastic Aptitude Test, which is a test of 154 questions. In SAT 1, there are four sections, okay? Two sections of math and two sections of English. Math is divided into calculator and non-calculator section. English is divided into reading and language and writing section. In Math 1, in calculator, you will have 38 questions. In non-calculator, you will have 20 questions. In SAT 1, in language and writing, you have got 44 questions. And in reading, you have got 52 questions. So altogether 154 questions to be done within 210 minutes. After each component that you write, you are given a break of 5 to 10 minutes. This is it. So this is SAT 1. Most of the people, right, especially those who are from Indian background, they think that SAT 1 basically is a test of math and English. I would also like to mention that in SAT 1, there are three components. English is there, math is there, and there is one more section that is called essay section. Essay section, let me tell you that most of the people, they ask us that, do I need to write essay? So my answer to them is, if you are planning for the good universities, along with math and English section, they would definitely be asking for, along with math and English section, they would definitely be asking you for what? For essay section. And essay section becomes part of language and writing. I mean, when it is evaluated, the marks of essay section is taken in proportion and is added to language and writing section. Okay. Someone's mic is working, so it's creating disturbance. So please switch off your mic. Yeah, fine. So what I was telling, we were talking about the paper structure of SAT 1. That is it. So here, as I told you, that there are three sections. And if anybody is asking you for essay, let me tell you that all the good universities, they would definitely be asking you to submit essays. In essay section, you need to write two essays, right, in 300 words or something. And basically you are advised to write, someone has a mic on, please keep it off, right? That is it. Thank you. Thank you. So in essay section, you need to write 2 essays, right? And basically, there is nothing like right answer or wrong answer. It's a subjective thing in terms of essay section. But how you present your answer, that is the most important thing in essay section, right? For example, they can give you something to write, something like this, that a cot has got 4 foot, right? And a cow has also got 4 foot. So what basically is the parity between this cow and cot, right? So in this term, there could nothing be a wrong answer or right answer, but the way you present your logic, maybe your answer is very funny, but still it is supposed to be brilliant, because the way you synchronized and the way you presented your logic and you compose the essay, right? The composition of essay, you can win good marks or the full marks, right? So this basically the thing. Okay. So each section of SAT is of 800. As I told you, there are 2 sections, and essay is part of English section, language and writing. So 802, 1600. Okay. And out of 1600, a good score is supposed to be 1440 plus, or say 1500, or say a perfect score. With a good coaching program, okay, it is very much possible that you get a perfect score, and it is going to help you immensely. So, as I was telling, that SAT 1 basically is not a test of math and English. Math and English are just the tools of SAT 1. SAT 1 or SAT General basically is a test of aptitude. You would be surprised to know that there is an interference of mathematics in English and of English in mathematics. Have you ever heard about such composition? No. But ever since the new SAT came into picture, right from 1st of April 2016, approximately 4 years ago, the new SAT came into the picture. Earlier, there were 10 sections. That was summed up into only 4 sections, right? And they made it more. So purpose of SAT is what best universities, especially in US, Singapore, and Canada, right? I mean to say top. So what I was telling, that SAT 1 basically is an aptitude test, and it has been designed. It was designed in 1920, right? Approximately 100 years back. Okay, and this is with the purpose that best of the students can be chosen for the best of the universities, or universities can shortlist the best of the students, right? So this is it. So ever since its inception, it has changed its color and format and a lot of things. So today, this is what I'm telling you, that SAT has got 2 sections, English as well as mathematics, right? So you need to have a very good command over that. And SAT basically is not a test of math and English. Through these 2 subjects, it's a test of aptitude, right? So the better your aptitude is, the best universities you shall be getting, right? Because US universities, Canadian universities, Singapore University, they require the best of the students. Okay, that is it. So SAT helps you not only to get a not only to get admission into best of the universities, but also a scholarship. You would also love to know that if you are planning for engineering for a child, there are 2 institutes in India which are very prestigious. First is Triple IT Hyderabad, and second is what? DC Delhi. These are 2 very prestigious universities in India, in top 30, and for engineering program, they would be requiring SAT 1 score, right? So this is also a very good option. Now let's talk about the Singapore University. Most of the students from Oman these days, they are going to Singapore. What basically the reason? The reason is very simple, that the standard of these 3 Singapore universities, right? There are only 3 universities in Singapore, all government universities. First is what? NUS, standing for National University of Singapore. Second is called what? NTU, Nanyang Technology University. And third is called what? SUDT, Singapore University of Design and Technology. These 3 are very prestigious, of the class of all top universities in US, like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, etc. Right? And then, in order to get admission into these Singapore universities, you need to have SAT 1 score. If you are planning for engineering, SAT 2 score is mandatory. And along with that, a good transcript. I mean to say, especially in grade 12, your marks should be very good. So what happens that on the basis of your SAT 1 score, your academic transcript of grade 12th, your good academic score, as well as SAT 2, you would be able to become part of the engineering, right? I mean, Singapore is supposed to be very good for engineering, okay? And not only this, you would also be able to win a scholarship. So there was this is a little synopsis of Singapore. Then let's talk about another university, which is in Hong Kong, that is known as HKUST, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, right? So here in Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, you take admission that also is on the basis of SAT 1 and your academic transcript. And let me tell you that wherever you take admission, the admission and scholarship goes hand to hand. But for a scholarship, you need to prepare yourself extra, and all these scholarship which is provided to you anywhere in the world, especially in Singapore, Hong Kong, Canada, and US, these are completely merit based. You need to create a need in order to get a scholarship. That's a fact, right? This is it. Even if someone dad is billionaire and if he is able to prove that okay, he requires a scholarship, he would be able to get that, right? So for that you need to plan, whichever university you are applying in that particular department, what scholarship is available at undergrad level. For that, what SAT 1 score is required, when you need to apply, who you need to write. So for all these, you need to have a good work. Trust me, it's very easy, but you need to be disciplined in that regard, right? You cannot, I mean, the test prep card has got a complete system in order to cater, for the university selection service, for consultancy, for scholarship and all these, okay, so that your children are getting the best of universities like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Carnegie Mellon. I spoke about the universities in Hong Kong and Singapore. Now, let me tell you that these days in Oman, there has been a myth. And the myth is what? I would give money and I'll go to Canada, right? I'm asking a question to all of you. Is it justified to pay an amount of 60 lakh, 80 lakh just to do a simple BSc from a Canadian university, right? Or just to do a BCom from Canadian university? Here in India, you can do this hardly for 1 lakh rupees, a BSc or BCom, okay? That's the fee that you pay, right? And these universities, these government universities are no less. So let me caution you one thing. If you have a charm to live in Canada and if your child is fascinated by the peer group that I'll go to Canada and all these places, you are simply inviting, a big trouble in future, right? Because after studying from there, visa would be a problem, your employment would be a problem. And after that, whatever money you have invested, that, I have no idea whether you are able to take that risk, right? So please don't be part of any rumor or myth through peer group or by those agents who are coming these days to these places and they are telling, right? A very good thing is that if you ask, would my child get a job? What they would tell you, nobody is unemployed in Canada, right? So it's a very diplomatic answer. That is definitely not answer to your question. And let me tell you that if your child is going to good universities in Singapore, Hong Kong, Canada, and US, okay, so you have not to think about job. So this is my advice to you, because currently we are talking about Canada, that please target only top 7 to 10 universities in Canada, right? So that you can get admission into a very good university along with the scholarship, right? And it is strictly based on SAT 1. If some universities in Canada would also be asking for SAT 2, because SAT 2, especially for math and physics, because you are going for engineering, and SAT 2 is a standard test in order to prove your proficiency in that particular subject. Okay, SAT 1, SAT 2, your academic transcript. Now, just a second. Let's talk about the US universities. The top 100 to 200 to 300 universities in US, there are more than 3,000 universities, colleges, community colleges, private colleges in US, right? So top 100 to 200, 150, they would be asking you for SAT 1 score and SAT 2 score, right? One more caution, that the university, I mean, it's vice versa. If they are not asking for a good SAT 1 and SAT 2 score, you must assume that over there you can purchase education. These days, going to US, it has become difficult. It is simply because the reason that most of the people from different part of the world, they are paying money and they are ready to go to US, right? This is what that the US government is not encouraging, right? And you must also be away from all these things, because if you are patronizing under the effect that after doing a 4-year degree in US, my child would be getting a job, and then on the basis of that I shall be winning a green card or PR in US. Please be aware of all this. US is not that much liberal. They are scrutinizing everything. They know that you have come to second or 3 or 4th year university. You please study, give your money and go from there. They are not interested in granting you the job. So, I mean, if you are thinking about through SAT1 to the best of the universities in US, Canada, Singapore and Hong Kong, okay, then let's get a good SAT score for SAT1, also for SAT2, especially for math and physics. And then let's try to get a scholarship. It is very much possible that all 100 students who are applying to these universities, it is very much possible that all 100 would get a scholarship. The scholarship is completely based on merit, right? Now, the second part of the talk is what basically is the connection between SAT1, right? As we all know that the SAT1 is conducted by collegeboard.org, collegeboard.org. There is one more site where you can find relevant information, that is collegereadiness.com, right? These are the two sites, but collegeboard.org is the best. So everything about SAT can be found out over there. There's one more site, www.sat.org, but that's generic just to have some information, right? So SAT probably is the best examination in the world, which is every year written by more than 22 lakh students all over the world, and Indians are always first in writing this examination. This examination is conducted 4 times a year, okay, especially on a after interval of 3 months. For example, it's going to be in March, then in June, then in October, then in December. This is the normal cycle, especially in the first week. You are in Oman. The best thing is that College Board has already established many centers in schools in Oman. So you have not to worry that, okay, in order to write SAT, you need to go to UAE or India. It's definitely not like that. If you have any preference of girl child, boy child, then there are separate centers also, which is only girl center, right? So need not worry. In order to, I mean, the registration fee for SAT is approximately US dollar 125. That's the registration fee, and with the help of that, you can apply. And in this, you would also be your score would be sent to at least 4 universities in free. For example, if you are applying to Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Carnegie Mellon, so after that, after writing the SAT, all you need to give your preference, okay, that I'm applying to these 4 universities. Generally, most of the parents, they choose at least 8 to 10 universities to apply. That basically is the bucket that you have to choose. 8 to 10 universities, best and top university. This is what I'm saying. Okay. So what basically happens that once you have finished a SAT, you can simply give the preference, okay, or even latter part, whenever you have to submit the score to the universities, as per the deadline, you will simply be to 4 universities, you can send your score in free. And after that, for each university, there are separate charges that you need to pay them extra, and they will be doing that. You won't be sending SAT score to universities. This would be sent by College Board to that university. Each university has got a code registered with the College Board, and they are going to do this. So it's a very fine system, a flawless system. That's it. Now, as told you that SAT basically is conducted by College Board 4 times a year. Centers are there in Oman, right? Always remember one thing, that you are not a native student, you are international student. Native students are those students who are inhabitant of US. You are non-native or international student. So whenever you are looking for the center on College Board, whenever you're looking for the dates for this SAT examination on College Board, please make sure that you look everything from an international student point of view, even for his scholarship, even for his application deadline. Your status is of international student. Then the chances of error would be very less. That's it. Now, The thing is that in order to apply for SAT, what you can do that you can go to collegeboard.org. Over there you can, with a valid email ID, you also should have a phone number which should be valid in Oman, right? Because they would be sending the SMS and all these, no WhatsApp, etc. So with the help of that valid email ID, you also need to remember the password. First of all, you need to create your account on this college board, right? Now, if you are facing any sort of problem in order to filling the form and everything, Test Prep Card has got a step-wise tutorial so that it helps you where you have to do what, right? And this is available with us. You can write a mail to info@testprepcard.com. I repeat it, info@testprepcard.com, and you will be getting your document from there, right? We'll be sending this to you. It is also available on Test Prep Card website. You would love to know that Test Prep Card, basically the official partner of top Ivy League universities in Middle East and India, and we are the official content partner of College Board here in India. Now, as I told you right in the beginning, that most of the people, they think that SAT basically is a test of math and English. It's definitely, I mean, in order to crack SAT 1 with a good score, your command on mathematics and English should be very good, right? But still, through these two subjects, it is trying to check your aptitude, it is trying to weigh your aptitude. So it is always prudent to proceed further with a proof of concept, not because you think that your child has to write math and English. A very common thing that most of the students, what problem they face. You give them something, a paper, etc. In first attempt, they are getting 1100 and 1200. Even in second attempt, the same. Even after 3 months, same. Even after 4 months, 6 months, same result. Why? It's because each question of SAT 1 is divided on a level of difficulty, which is on a scale of 1 to 5. So what happens that most of the students, they try to become good where they are already good at, and they leave the difficult part. They are not able to know, right? That which question is difficult, whether I should work here or not, or what basically is the strategy. That's why what happens that for 99% of Indian students, the score never goes beyond 1200 or 1170. And they are still surprised at what mistake, why it is not happening, why it is not happening. It is not happening simply because you are still practicing, you are wasting your time by practicing those questions, which are low in level of difficulty, in which you are naturally good at. But at least 40% of the question of the whole paper, that basically the level 4 and 5 for math and English, over there you require to have a very good practice. So if you are going for writing SAT 1 without good preparation and without checking your aptitude in math and English, in fact, you are inviting a problem and a big blunder of confusion, right? So for that, you should have proof of concept. So what we are going to do, that for this purpose, all people who are participating in this webinar, for them, we are going to arrange 1 or 2 sessions, which is based on SAT 1 English. That would take place on Tuesday, which is 23rd of, June. The timing would be 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. and then 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. After this session, we are going to send you a link. You must make it fast, because in every session we would not be able to keep more than 3 students, right? So if it fills up fast, then probably we would not be able to allot you any slot, right? So after this session, once the link comes, please watch over this. These sessions are very valuable. And this would be conducted by our head of the department, Mr. D. Chaudhary, who is a top teacher here in India, who is with us. It's a matter of pride for us that he is with us. And he is going to conduct this session of math in order to check aptitude of a child, for English, in order to check aptitude of a child for this SAT 1. And once you are sure that, okay, my child has got this aptitude, then it would be wonderful just to proceed further with a good preparation program, because now you are 100% sure that I'm going to get a good score, something which is closer to 1500 or 1460, or say a perfect score, and then getting admission to one of the best colleges along with a scholarship is sure shot, right? So these things are very, very important. Please don't miss this, right? I repeat it once again that this is going to be on 23rd of June from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. and 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. All these details would be given on the link, which we are going to send you today itself, right? By clicking on that, you can choose the 23rd of June is the date, and the time slot you can choose. That is it. Now, so in order to register for SAT, basically, you need to know from where you have to start, okay? So first of all, what you have to do, that you have to verify your SAT date. It is basically working on a 5 point. It's a technical thing, right? I'm just telling you, for example, I am assuming that you all are fresh people. You have no idea how to fill the form for SAT and everything. So, there are two things. Before registering, on College Board and creating your account, what I would request you, that you first of all have to verify the SAT date. If date is not available, then it would be a big problem. So it is always advisable that you book the date at least 3 months prior or 4 months prior, right? For example, if you are planning for October, please book the date for today. Otherwise, you won't be able to get date. Just because of this COVID-19 virus, this year there's a heavy rush for this SAT, for this SAT, and you can choose October or December. It doesn't make a big difference. It both are in first week, right? That's it. So first of all, you need to verify date in terms of the whether this date is available for in this particular country, for example, in Oman, and on this particular center. As I already told you that you are an international student, so look everything from an international student point of view, right? Second, you need to create your account on College Board. Then you need to select test center and date. And then after that, you need to fill up all the details. One more thing which could be annoying for all of you, that if you hang on for a long time on a particular column, it would expire, and then again you'll have to log in, and again you'll have to fill up all the details, which is really a very tedious task. So please avoid hanging on a particular column for a long time. Okay. So after that, you need to upload a clear picture, right? You need to fill up the names. Each and every word has to be taken care of. Okay. Your name should be very proper, because most of the parents, they say that I did this, I did like this. Unfortunately, College Board would not be able to do anything in that. Okay. So now, after that, after uploading the picture in a clear dimension as instructed by College Board, okay, you need to make payment. That you can do either through debit card or credit card. Once you have made the payment, then what happens that in a PDF, a SAT admission ticket, okay, it appears in your account. You can take its printout, and you need to carry this SAT admission ticket. Please get 2-3 photocopies of that to the test center, along with a passport, your identity card with all calculator, scientific calculator, your instrument box, in that everything is there, right? So that after checking at the center, the test invigilator would allow you to enter to the test center. You write that test, and then you come out. Okay. Passport and everything is very, very important. This would also be included in the information which you are filling in your account while registering for SAT. So these are the things which are very, very important. It's little tedious, but it's not so difficult. You need to follow the step, and it would be fine. Okay. If you are willing just to get that tutorial sheet, for that, what we can do, that after you have attended our analysis session, we can send this to an attachment so that you are able to look into that. That's it. So after that, what happens that this is a worry for the parents all over the world about basically the fee that you have to pay to that particular university. For example, if you are planning to send your child in Harvard, Stanford, MIT, these top 3 universities with the scholar for engineering program, let me tell you very frankly that the fee for a 4-year program for BTech is not less than 1 crore 25 lakh Indian rupees, right? If you are willing to pay, even after that, it's completely up to you, depending upon your financial status, whether you are willing to pay. But for top universities, everything is worth going. But what I mean to say, the better the university is, the better the chances of winning the scholarship. They have more variety of scholarship. For example, in MIT Department of Computer Science for undergrad program, there are various scholarships. All you need to know. So Test Prep Card has got a very good system just to keep you informed about all such things. And most of the students, with the help of good SAT1 score, they win scholarship. It's because they are planning it well, right? Now, let me tell you that scholarship basically is divided into 2 broad categories. First is what? Gift aid. A scholarship is what? A type of financial ad, right? So gift ad is there, and then we have what? We have got self funded or self ad, right? So what happens in gift ad, that you are awarded some scholarship, that maybe that this could be of two three types. Now please hear me carefully. One is what? That you are given full fee waiver, right? This is a type of gift ad or scholarship. Second type of a scholarship could be what? That along with a full fee waiver, you are also being given some money so that you can sustain in university campus, right? That will take care of your living expenses, your accommodation and everything, right? Whereas as far as matter is concerned with the self-ed, it is just a term that has been played with, that you have to self-fund yourself in order to give fee and your living accommodation and everything. Even for living accommodation and everything, it is of two three types. Whether you want a separate room, whether you want a dormitory where 5:10 student, three children, three student dormitory, 7 student dormitory, whether you want to get a food from university cafeteria or you want to cook on your own, all these things are there. But of course all these things come when you are planning to go to US. There are 2 semesters for undergrad. One is called spring, that starts in March. Another is called fall semester, which starts in September. Most of the Indian students, I mean to say 99% of the Indian students from India, Middle East and other region, they go to US in fall semester, right? That is it. So there are some deadlines that you need to be, there is one magic date, and that date basically is what? 31st of October of each year. For example, if currently your child is in grade 11, so the magic date for a child is what? 31st of October 2021. Because in 2022 he would be writing his IB or CBSE board or IGCSE, whatever, and after that you are all from Indian school SEEP, so you all must be in CBSE curriculum. And after that, what happens? That you are writing your CBSE in grade 12 in March, and then you have already applied to the universities and all these. So if your child is writing his final board of grade 12th in 2022, the magic date for all of you is 31st of October 2021. That is the date you should be applying, right, to all the universities. And if you are applying on this date, this is also called early action. And a little late action is also in November. You can also apply by 31st of November, but you are advised to apply by 31st of October, because it helps you immensely just to get admission as well as to win a scholarship. So this is it. In a nutshell, we have told you, because information about SAT1 is like a big ocean. If we start, then whole scholarship and financial aid, it would be taking 2-3 hours. About that, we are planning a session, right? And once you become part of test prep card, you can regularly attend all these. Test prep card basically doesn't play like an agent or something. In fact, you would love to know that if your child is studying with us and is a good student and is potential in order to get a perfect score or a high score, his university selection, his financial aid consultancy, application deadlines, each and everything is taken care of by the test prep card for free. There are more than 150 students from all over Oman. They are especially in Muscat and Salalah, who have been associated with us only for SAT1 and for top universities in US, Canada, and Singapore. That's it. So it can also be the same after attending this academic analysis session, which we are going to schedule on 23rd of June, which is Tuesday. There would be 2 slots, 6:30 p.m. IST, which is 5 p.m. Oman time, 7:30 p.m. IST, which is 6 p.m. Oman time. For that, we will be sending the link on your email ID. By clicking on that, you can fill up all the details and a slot is booked. You won't be facing any sort of problem. So here I finish my small course of talk, which is all about giving you information about SAT, paper structure, about financial aid. Hope it has cleared all your doubts. And from today, you have no myths. So now we have got 8 to 10 minutes. Please switch on your mic and camera and feel free to ask your question related to the SAT or whatever it is. Thank you. We are ready to answer your questions. Please start asking your questions one by one so that we can answer. Please ask without any sort of hesitation, whatever.
I wanted to know that on this collegeboard.org, will we get the centers for SAT in Oman?
Your voice is not clear. What you are asking?
When we go to College Board, will we get the centers for SAT in Oman?
Yes, you will be getting centers. In Oman, there are at least 16 to 18 centers. So there is nothing to worry. You'll be getting the test center,
Okay.
that one in Oman. Please don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Please book your academic analysis session of English with Mr. D. Chaudhary. It's going to help you a lot. He's the best teacher in India. Wader is the best teacher for SAT 1 English. That's it. Thank you.